If you need help committing homicide, you've come to the right place. One thing the great people openers of history had in common was a motive for opening the people they decided to open. So allow me to remind you of the tragedy that has befallen you in your past. The date was April 26th, 1981. You were 8 years old and just watched a new film with your parents. On the walk home, you all took a shortcut through an alleyway. Unfortunately for your parents, a man in a silly little mask had decided their clothes were very shiny looking, and your parents' expiration date passed due. After providing your parents with a special 2-for-1 deal and taking his payment, he made his way off, leaving you sitting in a puddle of blood. I mean blood. 16 years have passed since the day you started playing on hard difficulty. The man that folded both your parents, Monsieur Muerder, was just released from prison on good behavior. But you won't have it. Following the news of his recent release, you aren't satisfied. You want vengeance. Being the spoiled princess you are, however, you don't want to serve time after succeeding. What you need is the perfect murder. Now that you've steeled your resolve to do what even the greats couldn't, you need to take note of your advantages and weak points. You refuse to hire a hitman because that would leave a paper trail, but also because this is personal. You need to do this yourself. Fortunately, however, your parents happen to be so rich, they made top 1%ers jealous, and those funds are now at your disposal. Additionally, you know his name and face, but he likely won't know yours. To ensure everything goes smoothly, there are 3 things you must figure out. The first is how you will lure Monsieur Muerder out alone. In order to do this, you must learn as much as you can about your target, and find out a weakness of theirs. As it happens, Bajui has a thing for younger women, and you happen to be younger. Being a big, strong little weak fella, you could easily pull off the femboy aesthetic. What's that? You don't want to dress like a girl? That sucks, but because you're such an epic gamer, women don't talk to you when you're on your own. Nobody said murder was going to be easy, so get your ass to Spencer's and into a skirt. Once you look more like a woman than Kylie Jenner, it's time to make a Tinder account, match with Muerder, and make a date. Next, you must choose your method of murder. You now have an easy way to lure him out, but you still need to figure out how to murder Muerder. You need a technique that will leave little evidence behind and not attract any attention. Having taken inspiration from the Larks' people, you've determined the most surefire way is to bait him into a spike pit where he will slowly burn through a subscription to life until you finish the job with your handcrafted bow and arrow. The final step is to figure out how you will hide his silly little corpse. Now you just need to decide how you'll be hiding that big silly little piece of incriminating evidence. Since your good pal Bajui will be kindly staying in the spike pit, you figure it can't be too hard to just fill it up again and call it a day. Now that all the steps have been figured out, all that's left is to execute the plan for your perfect murder perfectly. You try on your new fit to find you look excellent as a woman, and perhaps, dare I say, even a little snatched. Your makeup and nails are on point, and BM has taken the bait. After matching on Tinder, you suggest a hiking date to an inconspicuous trail in the mountains, and he agrees. The day of your date with Mr. Bajui finally arrives. You have made all the preparations and are waiting for him on the trail, but you start getting second thoughts. What if you get caught? What if there's a better way? Is murder the answer? Perhaps none of this is necessary. You could be the bigger man, even if you don't look like one at the moment. You're better than this. No. What's wrong, you homicidal femboy? Afraid to get your skirt red after all this work? It's too late to back out now. Spencer's doesn't take returns, and you have a man to kill. It's time to finish the job. Big Bajui McGee arrives at the scene. His mask is silly and little as ever. You wave him over, and he foolishly approaches you instead of running away. The trap works perfectly as he falls in, charading a shish kebab. He continues to squirm and cough up some mysterious red sauce, so you draw your bow, aim, and release the arrow. You've done it! You've taken revenge on the man that discounted your parents. Bajui Muerder is finally unalived. You've worked hard to get here, and this is your big moment. So take a cute selfie to commemorate it. Aww, don't you two just look adorable together? All that's left now is to fill in the hole and call it a day. But right as you're about to scoop dirt back into the pit, you realize you can't ruin your pretty nails. Luckily, because you're so rich, you can call in a freelance contractor to bring some heavy machinery and fill in the hole for you. After putting him to work, you begin to relax. It's over. Once he finishes up, you make sure to tip him some shiny jingly things. As the dirt fills up the pit, you feel a sense of pride, knowing that you accomplished what most couldn't. The perfect murder. And you did it without leaving any evidence or loose ends behind. With your skirt splatter free, you went home a new man. A man with no enemies. And also no parents.